so it was really popular yesterday that you guys wanted to see how I grade the Good and the Beautiful high school language arts. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. We're going to show you the most current unit that my son, who is doing it right now, finished. And it is the same for high school 1, high school 2, and high school 3. And the first thing you need to know is when you buy the Good and the Beautiful high school language arts course, they email you the answer key. So you need to make sure that you keep that email. Don't lose it, because you cannot buy a physical book for the answer keys. So don't lose the email. And if you do, I'm sure you can email them. All right, so here is the high school unit 7 he just did. And if you're not familiar, the high school is done different than the lower levels. These are not done in daily snippets. You need to schedule this on your own and figure out what to do. So your child has finished the Good and the Beautiful unit 7, unit 1, whatever unit. They finished it all. It's all done. So then what happens is you do something called a unit check. And that means that I go through and I check this unit according to this answer key. Okay? So I check it. Now, the interesting thing with the Good and the Beautiful is you do not grade them based on mistakes in the unit. So I did 100% here, but it's not because he's going to get a grade on that. I just wanted him to feel good. So I just wanted him to feel good about that. So what you do, though, is after you've gone through, you're going to go through it, write the student's name. Now, the total points that they can get is 250, unless you've added extra credit, and then it can be 255. The unit percentage is based off of whether they completed or not. So if they didn't complete all of the unit, these are the scores that you're going to give them. So if they completed only 75% of this, and maybe they didn't do the art project, or maybe they didn't turn into you the insights journal, which is essentially an essay, then they don't get the full 200% for completing this unit. Now, when you go through this to check their mistakes, like here, he forgot to write adverb, and he messed up on the diagramming here just a little bit. So what you would do is you mark it as wrong, you give it back to your student, and then have them fix it. And if they don't understand it, you sit and you work with them and help them understand what they needed help on. And so that is not, any mistakes are not based on this grade right here. This is purely completion and how well they completed it. So when they finish this, then it moves on to the unit check, which is essentially a test. This has a test for the end of each unit, and you're going to give it to them and they take it. And they go through, and now when you're doing the unit check, I always try to, they have answers where they have to write kind of, I think of it as a mini essay. So they need to write that neatly. And they have all of these unit checks for each unit. So, and then you give points based on that. And then here at the beginning, they show you how many points. So essentially, a lot of people think that when they're checking this unit, that if there's any mistakes, it should affect their grade. And that's not the purpose of you checking the unit. The purpose of you checking the unit is to see if there's any gaps in their understanding. Did they understand the dictation? Did they understand what that vocabulary word meant? That's the point of you checking it. And then you work on that with them, if needed, before they take the unit check. And the unit check or test tells you what, that's where the grade is at, is with that test, not with you checking that. So hopefully that clears up some questions if you had any. It's really not as hard as maybe it sounds. The Good and the Beautiful has made it really easy to do.